Hey everybody, this is a tour of my pop-up camper for sale. This is a 2004 Coleman, aka Fleetwood, Yuma. Let's take a tour around the outside. As you can see, it's in really great shape. Good condition on the canvas and the vinyl. All exterior lighting is working. Got a slide-out step and a floor mat. Working fire extinguisher, never been used. This door swings back and locks in place, allowing you to set up the stovetop outdoors. Exterior lighting and outlets. Take a walk around the back side. Has a full-size spare tire. Comes with a crank. I have an exterior backup camera set up on there that is not included. Right now it's currently connected to my extension cord, which is providing 15 amps of service to the trailer shore power cable. As you can see, the underside is in very good condition. No rot, no rust, no mold or any corrosion. As we come around the front side, here's the other bunk. Comes with an interstate battery and a 20-pound propane tank. Hitch connection here is a 7-pin connection, and this does have electric brakes if your vehicle is equipped for electric braking. Underside, very good condition as well. Now this is what we call the far side. This is where we have all of our other services. This is a hookup for water from your campsite. This is your dirty water drain from the sink. Inside of this access panel is the switch and valve for the 3-way Dometic refrigerator, which I'll show you inside. This is the exhaust for the furnace, which runs on propane. Works very well, I might add. This is a connection for adding potable water to the 15-gallon onboard tank, which can be used when you don't have water hookup at a campsite or if you're out boondocking. And here's a wide shot of the far side of the camper. Now the wheels have been painted at some point. A little bit of rust on there. The wheels are actually in great shape, axles greased. Tires are in very good shape and old air. You can see the tread quite a bit of tread. Minimal rust, corrosion, or rot on the bottom side. Alright, let's take a look at the interior. Alright, once we come in here, you'll see that it's in very good shape. This is the forward-facing bunk. All of these panels here, these vinyl panels, unzip and open up to a screen, so you can let all the light and air through. When they're shut, they provide complete water-resistant protection, whether that's the rain or bugs or anything else that might be coming your way. I'll go ahead and leave that open. Here's the rear bunk. Same thing. Now this is a mattress pad. This is not a full-size mattress. This is very soft. It's about as good as it gets when it comes to camping. You can add memory foam to that, but we usually just use sleeping bags and a blanket. Once we get this place hot or cold, however you like it, it's very comfy. Down here, upholstered couch. Another working set of outlets. Another upholstered couch. Another set of working outlets. Over on this side, little storage and countertop space. Another set of working outlets, so that's a total of 6. Alright, let's take a look at the sink area. This is a sink and stovetop galley which flips up once you've opened the camper. In the stowed position, that rolls forward and rests on that tan or brownish plug there. This has been replaced. I made it myself. The old one just kind of started looking raw, so we made a new one. Stovetop flips up, wings come out, offers some wind protection, and you have a 2-burner stove. Let me go ahead and turn those on. Give it a test. I can hear the gas coming out. And there you go. These can be turned down way low or as high as you want. And these are more than adequate to boil water, cook any kind of food. I run them on the bare minimum setting for making scrambled eggs in the morning. And those are powered by the 20-pound propane tank up forward. You can also add an additional propane tank for extended camps. And when you're done, this all folds back down and locks in place. Another interesting thing to note, there is a lock on the front here. This can be disengaged, which allows you to remove this buckle here and take this entire stovetop outdoors. So if you want to do some crab boils or cook outdoors, this entire assembly comes right off. If you look down here, we have a propane shut-off valve and a quick disconnect. So this can easily be shut off, disconnect, popped. You can take this outdoors, and I will show you the exterior plug-in for that. But I think we want this on just for a moment. Okay, now just above that, you have some minimal storage space beneath the sink. 3 of these doors. And you can put things in there once you get set up at your campsite. Now this is the refrigerator. This is the 3-way Dometic refrig. This is standard on most campers and RVs. 3-way means that you can run this off of propane, you can run this off of battery, or you can run it off of shore power with 120 volts. Not a whole lot of room, but you can keep the important things cold. We usually just keep our cleaning products in here when we're moving. Dometic fridge, not the greatest. It takes about 4 or 5 hours to get as cold as you would want it to once you're set up at a campsite. So regardless of the heat source, they're all equally as efficient. It takes 4 hours at least to get cold. So if you're on the road, you can turn on your gas or you can run it off of battery and get a jump start on getting things cold. Down here, this is your furnace. And this last little storage spot is where we keep things like the coffee maker. This rod I'll hang from the ceiling, as I'll show you on the door. This is where we hang our towels to dry, which is directly above the furnace. And a little few other essential items. Flip-flops, great for taking to the shower at campsites. Alright. Now down here, this is a carbon monoxide detector, runs off a battery. It'll let you know for any reason if there's a propane leak in the camper, it'll go off like crazy. And it also doubles as a low battery indicator because it starts beeping when your battery goes low. Alright, this is your thermostat for the furnace. I've added some labels to it just so it's easier to understand because I always forget how it works each time I take it out, which way is which. But it has a working thermometer on there, and you can turn that on and adjust it. Let me tell you, this thing gets pretty hot, so we're going to go ahead and kick it on, and in the next couple minutes we'll give you a show. Alright, so what you just heard, battery turned the fan on. You got to have fan running for furnace, so you know it's working now. I've already purged the air out of the gas lines by running the stove, so we know that it's definitely working. And I just heard the gas kick on. Down here is a little panel. This is where your fuses are. Fuses are for the battery maintainer. When you're plugged into shore power, this will charge your onboard battery. And also fuses for the outlets. There's 2 breakers in there that you got to turn on once you get hooked up and plugged into shore power. Okay. Now this is your air conditioning unit. I'll give you a test of that here shortly. It kicks, and this is a small camper, so the heat and the cool are more than adequate. In fact, you're going to turn them off after a brief while once it gets to the temperature you want. You have the ability to just run the fan or the air conditioner. Fan high and low for both, whether you're running AC or not. And here is a temperature controller for that. Now in order to use the air conditioning, you're going to have to loosen this Velcro, and we run this down the side and then alongside the couch cushion here. And this outlet is dedicated for the air conditioner. So keep that in mind, and don't let the kids step on it when the AC is plugged in. Now underneath these couches is tons of storage. Underneath this one you can see your 15-gallon water tank. This is an onboard reserve, so you can always use this water if you have any. Down here is the water pump. This kicks on when there's low pressure in the lines, so at any time when the switch is turned on, this will maintain your faucet pressurized. And when you open the faucet, that's going to decrease the pressure in the line, so the pump will kick on. You'll hear it running. And this is the enclosure for the electronics. But you can also shove a bunch of stuff in there if you like. This is also where your shore power cable gets stowed. As you can see the light coming through, that's where the cord gets pushed in and out. Alright. Now today's kind of a cold day. Last I checked it was 61 degrees outside. So I've got this infrared pyrometer. We'll just go ahead and check outdoor temperature. Showing me 60 degrees. Now let's see what the temperature of the air coming out of this thing is. Oh, that's hot. 130, 165 degrees. So this thing really kicks. Doesn't use a lot of propane, and to get you through the night if it's cold outside, it's not going to cost you much. It's actually going to be warmer than you probably want. But you can adjust that as low as you feel comfortable with. It's close to 200 Fahrenheit. Alright, we'll go ahead and turn that off. And the fan's going to continue to run as it evacuates the propane. Here's the sink as promised. You have two faucets here. This one is for your onboard water tank. This one is only for city water hookup. So if you're connected to the campsite, this is the one you use for your city water hookup via the hose. And this is the one to run when you are not hooked up, or if you just want to use up that water in the tank. So you can hear the pump surging. You can run it nice and low, or full blast. And there you go. Now there is a safety switch for the water pump. That's right here. Turn that off. There's two lights in the ceiling. They are both great. So once you get this thing all sealed up at night, close your curtains, get your furnace running. Doesn't matter if it's a dead of winter. This is going to be a nice, cozy apartment. Each of the beds sleeps 2 adults or 2 kids. The couches also convert into another full-size or twin bed. And then if you have more than 5 or 6 people, obviously it's going to be kind of crowded in here when you're sleeping. But you can also throw down some sleeping bags on the floor. So I'll come back to this and give you a show of the beds and the air conditioner. Alright, before I set up this other bed, I want to show you this storage space. This is beneath the front-facing couch. I've lifted that cushion off. And down here, this is our largest storage area of all. Here we have a cooler with some non-perishable items. We always keep some marshmallows, graham crackers, ramen, instant macaroni. Keep that in there. Full set of pots and pans. This is a toilet seat that fits on top of a Home Depot bucket for emergencies. Since a camper doesn't have a shower or a toilet, this might come in handy. We do also keep a bucket in here full of other gear. Dishwashing supplies, other things we use for cooking and eating. And you guessed it, that is a microwave. So that's a tiny little 800 watt microwave with a digital clock, and it turns, and yes, that comes with the camper. I forgot also this little storage space down here. We have a toaster, cooking spray, multi-seasoning spice package, beer koozies, plates, paper plates, cups, and an additional frying pan. And a cutting board and knives. Everything goes in there. Everything you need. Okay, so I've taken the couch cushions and arranged those over the tops of these storage areas. Now this center space on the floor, this is a huge amount of space, huge volume for storing stuff while you're in transit. What I'm going to do is take this table that we've got outside. That table's going to fold up, collapse the legs, and we're going to set that on top of this space here and set those other couch cushion backs on top of it to complete the bed. Okay, so the table's installed. If you wanted to have breakfast in here, you would go ahead and set this table up right in between those couches with the couches put together. Raise the legs and you can sit down, and 4 people at least could sit there and enjoy breakfast. Alright, so we've got that bed put back together. Still lots of storage space beneath there. Legs are folded up from that table. As you can see, it's spanning the gap. I also go ahead and plug in the air conditioning unit so we can give that a test. So we're going to go ahead and set that on low fan, high fan, low cool, high cool. So we want to set this about as cold as we can get it in the next couple of minutes. And like I told you, it's about 60 degrees out here today. .57. So this AC will have to get quite a bit cooler so I can show you how well it works. In the meantime, let's talk about the door. We have an actual door on this thing. The door is normally suspended from the ceiling. These snaps can be undone on both sides, and the door remains suspended by these cables. So you undo the snaps, undo this locking pin here, and the door can be slid directly down and sets right into this little groove here. So once that door is slid down, Velcro on the side of the tent can be fastened up on all sides, giving you the security of an actual door that locks. And this little hatch door can also be closed in front of it for added security. These fasteners, the door will actually sit right up on these, and they can be turned to lock the door in place. Alright, let's take a look. Well, that is not necessarily colder than outside. But it's definitely blowing cold air. We'll let that run for a bit. So here's some of the gear that we normally take, and this gets stowed underneath the bed. Got a few camping chairs. There's the Homer bucket. Lots of gear in there like candles, cooking supplies, cleaning supplies, sleeping bags, air mattress, skewers for doing roasting weenies and s'mores, and a camping grill, of course. This is the Coleman XL. It's fantastic. Last thing we put in there is always a whole bunch of really dry firewood, so that when you take this with you on moment's notice, you always have plenty of wood. You don't have to go searching for it, and you don't have to buy it. Comes in real handy, and you know you've got it. So all that usually gets put in there once the thing's closed up. And here's another walk around. Let's talk about the awning. It's zipped up on that top section of the camper there. There's poles that fold out and connect to each other. They're meant to be fastened, and you draw the thing out. 10-foot awning. You don't want to have that out in windy conditions, but if it's not windy, it'll definitely give you some shade and keep the rain off of you if it's gentle rain. And once again, just a walk around. (2004). Great condition. One other item, I put a little yellow spray paint there on the ball hitch. That makes it so much easier to see with my backup camera when I'm backing my ball hitch up to that. So it glows in my rear view camera. And as you can see, there's room for an extra propane tank, possibly a second battery, but that's up to you. Propane tank cover. Privacy curtains all the way around. But if you open up all these curtains, you can get a lot of good breeze through there, plenty of daylight. But then again, the artificial lights are great as well. So if you've got a small family or no kids at all, this thing's ready to go in a moment's notice. Just hitch up and take it camping. Thing has no problems, no leaks. Everything works. Everything's in pretty good condition. 2004, so that makes it 13, 14 years old. Let's have another look at that AC. Okay, 62. So it's not much colder. In fact, it's not quite as cold as the outdoors. I think we're breaking even here. This thing rocks. It'll definitely chill this thing down in temperatures over 100 degrees. Come check it out. You're gonna like it. Alright guys, that's my ad. 2004 Fleetwood, aka Coleman, Yuma pop-up camper. Get it for your family for Christmas or get it ready for next year. Thanks for watching.